Okay, so till now we were discussing about the differences between the array and the linked list. Okay, so now in details what we are going to study about is the singly linked list. Okay, now in the singly linked list, always remember what will happen. Okay, let me just show you. Okay, so basically if you have to see the feature of the singly linked list, what you have to see is that basically your singly linked list uh, looks like somewhat like this. Okay, consider this to be a node. Now in this part what happens, okay, consider this to be the node. So in that singly linked list, always remember what happens out here. You in the left hand side, what happened, you have the value, the data value which need to be stored at some memory address, and out this part you have the in this particular part you have the memory address of the next node. Okay, so if we try to arrange this in this fashion, particularly in this fashion, it looks like somewhat like this. Okay, so let me draw it in this fashion. I think it will be better. Okay. There is no space, so I'm just making it. So this is the fashion. That means basically if I have to show you the link, that means this, if this is the memory address part, then this is indicating the value of this particular node. Okay, and if I continue this, then this is what is your single linked list looks like. Okay, that means what happened, the thing is that every memory address is connected with the value which is present in the very next node. Okay, now the question comes, as we were discussing, that the differences between the array. Okay, now let us consider that we have certain values stored out here. Let's say 25, this is 35, this is 45. Okay, or maybe 15. Okay, now these are three values which are stored in the three consecutive nodes. Okay, now obviously it will have some memory address, let's say 150 or 1200, 1250. It can be 116. It has to be in the increasing order because in the it is proceeding towards the next, so it can be 9875, it can be 102583. Okay, so these represent the memory address. Now if it was in the format of the array, if I show you in the next part, that is you have an array out here. Let me just increase the size. Okay, now this is the array, as you can see. Now I'm storing the same value. Okay, that is 25 comma 35 comma 50. So these are the three values stored. Okay, now if I have to perform the operation of the insertion and the deletion. Okay, now let's say the first initial stage is that I have to remove the first value from the array. Now try to understand this. Now if I have to remove 25, if I have to remove 25 from the array, then what will become? That is my 35 will be stored in the 0 address and my 15 will get stored into the first address. Okay, so that means what? Your shifting of the value is happening because my 25 has been deleted from the array. Now if I change this and if I show you, now if I have to delete any middle element, that is if I have to remove the middle element, that means my 25 remains in the 0 position, it does not change, but my 15 get shifted into the first position. Okay, so that means if this is a 0 position, this is the first position. So my 15 is shifting here because my 35 has been deleted. Now, if I have to remove any value from the last part, that is, if I have to delete 15, then what is happening? My 25 remains in the 0 position and my 35 remains in the first position. So that means the model of the fact is that when we are performing any deletion of the value, okay, every time we see that the values are actually getting shifted. Now you will say, with respect to this particular process and this process, sir, my 15 is not getting shifted, my 15 remain in the fixed place. But if you compare with respect to the array position, 15 is in the second position, 15 is not in the first position. So that means what? Means in the not in the position, it is in the memory address of 2, but now it's becoming memory address of 1 in these consecutive cases. So that means the shifting of the value becomes a concern. That means what you have to do is that if it is in the case of the array, the first and the foremost thing is that while you are performing the deletion of the operation, then you also have to concern the fact that if my values are getting shifted into the random memory at some memory address, okay, then you should have the provision of the code so that the value gets some position. Now what happened in the case of array, if you don't provide that provision in the program of the shifting of the value into the corresponding memory address, then what will happen? Basically, in this case, your array, suppose you did not provided a provision of the memory address in the program. So after deleting 25, your value will somewhat look like in this fashion, that is blank space, comma 35, comma 15. Okay, so that means what? Your this particular memory address remained occupied, okay, but it's empty, it does not consist of any value. So if it does not consist of any value, then what's the point in keeping an empty space out there in the memory address? Now, not only that, the matter of fact is that since this value is lost, another important fact is that the memory address corresponding to that value is also get lost. That means if I delete 25, now the memory address of the 25 is 0. Okay, that means in the 0 index my value 25 is there, the 0 also get deleted and my 25 also get deleted. Okay, that means it actually symbolizes that there is no 25, but still the index number of my 35 is 1, 1, and the 15 remains 2. Now the question comes that where is my 0 index gone? Okay, so these are the disadvantages of the array that which we have to keep in mind. So that is why what happened, once you delete the value, it is necessary, once the value gets deleted, these corresponding values which are present in the array also need to be shifted so that your memory allocation does not get wasted. So now if you shift 35 into the 0 index and 15 in the first index, that means right now your two indexes are actually occupied, that is 0 and the first index where the 35 and 15 is available. Now here comes the advantage of the linked list. So let us just label this to be the first node, okay, this as a second node, and this as a third node. Okay, now if I have to perform a deletion operation, okay, if I have to perform a deletion operation, what is happening? If you see clearly, suppose I am removing 25, okay, from the first node. So I just put a cross mark out here. So if cross marks means I am deleting 25 from this part. Okay, that means what happened? It means my 35 will not shift into this particular node. Try to understand. This is the advantage of the linked list. It means my 35 will not get shifted into the 25, or neither my memory address of 9875 will change into 1250. Understand clearly? After that we'll come to the coding part. If I delete the first node, neither my 35 will shift into the 25th into the position where 25 is stored, neither my memory address, that is 9875, will get shifted into 1250, or neither this particular node will become 1250. Okay, so that means what happened? Once I delete this particular node, both of my data value as well as the memory address value get erased. Okay, and if I consider this to be my head node, what is the head node? Head node is the primary node or the topmost node of the linked list. If this is supposed to be my primary node, now 35, now after I delete it, so let me just color it so that you can understand. Okay, I colored it. So that means I have considered that my 25, which is stored in this particular node, is actually got deleted. That means what? My 35 becomes the head node of the linked list. Try to understand. 35 is not shifting anywhere else. Neither my this memory address is changing anywhere else. Try to understand. That means when I delete this entire node, it means that my this particular head node gets completely deleted. Okay, and my 35 becomes the, which is stored into this particular node. This becomes my head node, followed by your subordinate nodes. So this is the speciality of your linked list. Now this is possible when I am deleting the value from the very first node. Now the question comes, if I have to delete any node from the middle, that is I am deleting the value 35. Okay, so let me just uncolor it. Okay, so I have to, okay. So this time I am deleting which one? 35 and 75. So now what I have to do, that means my this node remains in the same node, but the memory address of 1250, try to understand, the memory address of the memory address or the address, which is this part, means what? It is indicating the next node. So this address changes into 1210253. That means the third node. That means this becomes the head node, this becomes the second node. So basically what happened, sorry, my apology, it will become 9875, because in the 9875 was indicating that the value was stored in the next node. Okay, so this becomes 9875. So basically the arrow will shift into this particular node, and this linked get removed. Try to understand. That means my 25 is the head node. It has the memory address of 9875. That means this node is particularly indicating on the 15th node. Now what is happening? 15 is not getting shifted into this particular node, neither the memory address, this becomes it remains 9875, but the memory address is shifting into this because at 9875 on this particular memory address only your value 15 is stored. Okay, so as you can see, the nodes are not shifting. Try to understand, the nodes are not shifting, the values are not shifting, it's only the memory address which are changing. So you just have to adjust the minor memory address part to interlink each and every node correspondingly. Okay, so this represent what? That you don't have any node in the middle. After 25 your next node is 15, and the 15 is stored at the memory address of 9875. This is the process of deleting any value from the middle. Now if you have to remove any node from the last, okay, I'll just make those minor changes. Okay, now if you have to remove the element from the last node, okay, that is this particular node. Okay, that means what? If you remember, in the singly linked list it is said that last node should always have a value of null. That means this particular node is deleted, my 1250 memory address is indicating the value 35, and my head value my value in the head node is actually storing the value 25. That means what? Just the change that is occurring is that again the data values are not getting shifted into the consecutive nodes. Okay, your memory address are getting changed minorly because right now your last node has been deleted. That means your this particular node where the 35 has been stored, beside that the address value will become null. Okay, when this become null, it represents this is the last node of the linked list. Okay, so again you can see that my values are not shifting. Okay, my nodes are not shifting, only the difference is that, or only the changes that is occurring is at the end is my memory address are changing, because the memory, with the virtue of the memory address, we are connecting one node with the other. So this is actually the concept that you have to understand. Okay, so this is what basically the thing is, that now in details I am going to discuss this right now. This is the small function which has been given right in front of your screen. That is the operation. Okay, the operations that we are going to learn from the single linked list is that number 1 is the insertion, number 2 deletion, number 3 whether my linked list is empty or not. Okay, so these are the 3 basic operations that we will consider while performing the linked list operation. Okay, the first part, as you can see, is that this is I'll show you the Java program. Now this particular thing actually represent, this is a class which has been created as a linked list. Okay, and then it is considered that the node which is created is actually head of the list, means this is the head node. This particular code segment indicates that this is the head node of the linked list. Okay, and then you have the next program. What is this next program all about? This says that one part of the node will have a data, and the other part of the node represent a variable next. What is this next? Next represent the memory address. I repeat, memory address of the next node. So this is basically the way how you create each and every node which is present in the linked list. Now, if you actually see in the code, like array, no specific size has been mentioned into this part. Why it is done? Because every time when you have to store any value, automatically this class will be called. When this class will be called, that means at that point of time, or that is the phase where you are actually creating a linked list. Okay, and when sorry, you are creating a node. Okay, so every time these data members, member functions, and all these things, all these elements which are present inside this particular class, okay, when this is called, that means that is a phase where you are creating a new node. As you can see here, it is given constructor to create a new node. And in the first node, if you remember what happened, this is the thing, that a constructor is created with a parameterized constructor is created where data is equal to d and next is equal to null. Okay, so basically right now at the very beginning, when I have created my first node, I don't know what is my second node. So since I don't know what is my next node, so initially I am storing just a data into the node. Okay, and I have to wait until the next node is created, because when the next node will be created, then this particular variable, that is the class variable, this next will have certain value. Initially, why this is null? Because this is a head node that you have created, you have a data, and you don't have any other memory address because the next node has not been created. So this is basically the concept that you can see on your screen. This is the purpose, or this is the technique by which we actually create each and every nodes in the linked list. And every linked list, every node has two of these basic element, as you can see. One is the data and one is the address part out here. Okay, so for your understanding, if I have to run this program, I'm running this program, it's requesting, it's compiling. Let's see what do we come up with. It's showing an error. Why it is an error? Because your program does not have the main function part. Okay, so we'll do this in details. Okay, practically. Okay, now in this question, this part, as you can see in this post, the method to insert a new node in the linked list are discussed. A node can be added in three ways. Number one, at the front of the linked list. That means you are inserting a node at the top of the linked list. That is not the front of the linked list. That means that you are creating a node which will become the header node of the next program. Okay, then after a given node, that means you have been specified at certain position where you have to insert the node. And lastly, at the end of the linked list, that means the last part of the node where the address part will become the null and it will have only a value. Okay, now in these three of this operation, always remember, again I will repeat my same line, that my values will not get shifted into some other node. My values will present in that particular node. Neither my nodes are shifting altogether from the one level to the other. Okay, my nodes will remain in their respective position. Only the thing what is changing, the only part that is changing is that the address part, because your previous node will hold the new address of the next node where some data values has been stored. Okay, so imagine you have initially these four nodes which are present in the linked list, considering that this particular node is the head node and this is the tail node or the last node of the linked list. Now if I have to add a node, that is E node, as you can see on your screen, if I have to add this node at the beginning, that means what? These node have to become a head node, and this node also must contain what? The memory address where the value A have been stored. That means what? As you can see, there is an arrow which is being crossed out. How it is being done? That means the memory address of this particular node will be initialized in this particular memory address part, and the data value will be initialized as the head node, and thus becomes what? This particular node becomes the head node. Now see, if you see the direction of the arrow very carefully, initially A was the head node of the entire linked list. What it is happening, by the virtue of the code, what happened, this link get cut off. Okay, while this link is getting cut off, what is happening, that is the memory address of this particular node has already been initialized into this particular node. Listen to this very carefully. Now once you initialize the memory address here, what is happening, your this particular node, by the help of this arrow, is getting connected into this node. And then that means what, your memory address has occupied this address part. Now you can initialize certain value into this particular node. If you have any question here, we will not proceed any further today. If you have any question here, please ask me. Any question? We will not proceed any further. We'll keep it here because these are little complex thing. Okay. If you see very carefully what is happening, your A node is not getting shifted here. Okay. Neither your E value is getting replaced into this particular node just because it was a head node. What is happening? All these nodes are actually intact in their places. Only that the value A has been stored at some point, at some part of the memory. So its corresponding memory address will get stored into this particular node. That indicates that your this node is getting connected with this node. Now your this part is actually empty, that is the data part is empty. So in the data part you are adding some value. With this, as you can see, your this new node, that is the E node, is becoming the head node. So if I show you the actual part of the program, what it is happening, see. Node, new node. Node is a class whose object is the new node. Is happening what? It's storing some data. This node is the constructor, mind you, this is a constructor which is passing certain parameters, that is new data. That means some data has been stored into the new node. Okay. Now what is the next step? Make the next of the new node as the head. So what you will do, the new node which you have created dot next represent the memory address of the memory address of the next node. Okay, that becomes the head. That means what is happening, since this was a head, its memory address is coming and storing into the new node. So thus this becomes the head. Okay, and then what happened, move the head to point with the new node. Okay, that means your head position has been shifted and connected with the new node. So this is the 4 basic steps that you are inserting a new node into a already existed linked list, and out there what is happening, you have inserted a new node at the beginning of the linked list, and thus these are the steps that you have to keep in mind. Okay, mind you, this is only the function that has been created. It does not have it will not run completely. So what we will do is that we will discuss this practically in the program once we complete the theoretical section. What you have to learn in the linked list part is that whatever the question that generally comes for your exam, number one is that the theoretical part is important for you to understand, but mostly you have to focus mostly on 3 basic things. Number one is the algorithm, second one is the program, and the third one is the time complexity. There is a separate chapter called Big O notation. In the Big O notation, we will discuss about the time complexity also. Okay, so this is basically your entire process of the singly list, the first application. Okay, We'll discuss the other topics in the next class. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.